While I asked, during that time that something else was, is, will, be, happening.
Did we already do this?
Yeah.
We did, yeah, I think we did.
Yes, yes.
Anyway, quickly notice the tenses, okay? While I was walking home, what tense is that?
Past continuous.
It's past continuous. It began to rain. What tense is that? It's simple past, okay? And that's not an unusual pattern. While I study, what tense is that? Simple present. I listen to music. Yeah. Now notice the next one. That one's weird in the sense that it's simple present, simple present. So look what happens. When I go simple present with a future idea, like I add tomorrow, it pushes the main verb to be what tense? Future. Yeah, and that's normal. That happens all the time. Okay? So, while I study when? Tomorrow. So it's simple present with a future idea. I will listen to music. That's future, simple future. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, turn the page. The next one. Now what is the next one? What's the phrase?
By the time.
Yeah, what does by the time mean?
One event was I will be completed before another event started. Start will start.
Yeah, can I say something about by the time? This is always true of the phrase by the time. You will always find the main clause in the perfect. So whenever you use by the time, the main clause, I'm not talking about the adverb clause, the main clause is always in the
Perfect.
It's in the perfect tense. Okay? So in the first one, Jean-Ben, read it loudly.
By the time he arrived, he had already left.
Yeah, we.
We had already left.
Yeah, so by the time he arrived, what tense is that?
Simple past.
Yeah, it's simple past. So when it's in the simple past, the main clause is had already left. What's that? Past perfect. So when the adverb clause is simple past, the main clause is past perfect. Past perfect. Now read the next one, Paul.
By the time he comes, we will have already left.
Ooh, interesting. So the first one is what tense?
Simple present.
Simple present. It goes to...
Future.
Ooh, see, that's different. We still have the pattern simple present future, but it goes future perfect. And it's because of the phrase by the time. It's just because of what it does to the time when you say by the time. Yeah. It requires a perfect tense in the main clause. So let me ask you a question in review. When the by the time clause is in the simple past, the main clause goes
Past perfect.
past perfect. So by the time clause, simple past, it jumps in the main clause to the past perfect. If the by the time clause is simple present, it jumps to the
Future perfect.
future perfect. You okay?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, now look at since or ever since. And again, let's see, what does since or ever since mean?
Since from a time in the past until the present.
Well, hey, look! From a time in the past until when?
In the present.
Well, what is that?
It's perfect.
It's a present perfect! Hey, guess what? There's a rule. Whenever you use since or ever since, okay, what does the main clause have to be in?
It's perfect.
Yeah! It's always. The main clause is always in the present perfect. Hey, this is fantastic. See, you know when you're writing and your teacher's always underlining stuff, and it's the wrong verb tense, and you're going crazy?
Yeah.
It's because of these rules, especially with adverb clauses. So listen, man, you need to fall in love with this piece of paper. Okay? You need to date this piece of paper for a couple hours. And you need to memorize it. Stick it in your head. Because if you do, it'll make all your writing So much easier. And you can be confident when you write and you create adverb clause complex sentences. All right, let's look at this. Since, ever since. Read the first one for me, right here.
Since and ever since. From a time in the past until the present.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen him since he left this morning.
Yeah, I haven't seen him. What tense is that?
Present.
Present perfect. Is it the adverb clause or the main clause?
Adverb clause.
The main clause. I haven't seen him.
It's the main clause.
Yeah.
Look at the adverb clause. Since he left this morning, what tense?
Simple past.
Simple past. All right. The other thing we can say is, in this with this one, whatever's easier for you, the adverb clause is always in the...
Present.
What tense is the adverb clause in both of these?
Simple.
Simple past.
Yeah.
And in the main clause goes
Present perfect.
present perfect. That's, you just remember that. Okay? Look at that. Read the next one. You're doing a great job.
I have known her ever since I was a child.
Yep. So, I have known her. What tense? Present perfect. Ever since, by the way, ever since and since, whenever you see them together, it just means they mean the same thing. Okay? Ever since or since I was a child. What tense?
Simple
Simple past. You must use the perfect tense with since or ever since. Are you okay?
Yeah.
True or false? By the time always requires the perfect tense in the main clause. Is that true?
Say again.
By the time, when I use by the time in the adverb clause, I have to use the perfect tense. Is that true?
No.
In the main clause.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Good, all right. So that's true of both by the time, since, ever since. You have to use the perfect in the main clause. All right, now look at until. Look at until. Turkey, read. What does until mean?
Until up to a created time and then no longer.
Yeah. Go ahead.
We stayed there until we finished our work.
Yep. And what tense are the verbs?
Past name is simple past.
Correct. So, see, we stayed there. So, we stayed there, okay, up to a certain point. What's the point? Until something happened.
Until we finished our work.
Until we finished our work. So, they stayed somewhere up to that point. Does that make sense? Okay. And the next one. Will you read the next one for us?
We will stay there until we finish our work.
Ooh, interesting. The main clause, what tense?
Future.
Yep, and then the adverb clause?
Simple past.
Oh, yay. It's that same pattern. Right? Simple present future. So that's okay. Everybody okay?
Yeah.
All right. As soon as, once. Nasita, what does that mean?
As soon as once event happiness happens, another event happens will happen soon afterward.
Yeah. So that's what it means. As soon as this happens, something else will happen, or may happen, or did happen. So, all right, Nasita, read the first one.
As soon as once it stops raining, we will leave.
Yeah, it's following that familiar tense sequence. So, what is once it stops raining? What tense? Simple present, and it goes to future. We will leave. That's normal. Okay. And of course, it is a future idea without saying tomorrow. I mean, you don't need to, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Once I get up each morning, I take a shower.
Simple present and simple present.
There you go. So listen, that one's similar. Remember on the front page, while or as, you have that simple present in the middle?
While I study, I listen to
Yep.
music.
Yep. So you see that same pattern on as soon as or once. Simple present. And then the last one, read the last one.
As soon as it stopped raining, we left.
Yeah, now what's happening there?
Simple past and simple past.
Yeah, it's just two things in the past. One happened as soon as the other started, both in the past. Are you okay?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You okay?
First one is past continue or not?
The first one, once it stops raining,
Yeah.
we will leave. The adverb clause there is simple present, right? Stops.
Stop. No, teacher, no.
Oh,
It's stop it raining. We left. Last one.
oh, yeah, okay. Once it stopped raining,
Stop.
we left. Stopped is just simple past, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that, you okay?
No, I think it's past continue.
Well, be careful. Where's your be verb?
Because raining, when we add the ing, it's changed to now.
They become now.
Yeah, and what do we call that?
No.
Past continue.
Which one of the three ugly sisters?
Gerund.
It's a gerund.
Gerund.
See, it's not acting as a part of the main verb there. It's acting like a noun. It's verb ing acting like a noun, which is a gerund, not the continuous format. There's no be verb. You've got to have be plus verb ing to have continuous. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Good question. All right. As long as, so long as. Will you read, what does it mean? From one point.
For one point in time until the
Yeah. So it means you start at some point in time and it's just all the way to the end of that point. Man, these are great words when you're talking about time. So read the first one.
I will never speak to him again as long as I live.
Wow! Did you catch that? That's terrible. I will never speak to him again. What tense is that?
Future.
It's future. Will speak. Will never speak. Future. As long as, and then you mention whatever it is. As I live. Simple present. Hey, that's that normal pattern. You okay?
Yeah.
Nothing weird going on. Whenever, every time, or each time. So, look at the first one. I see her every time, or whenever, each time I see her. What do? I say hello. Simple present, simple present. Or I can say, whenever I saw her, I said hello.
Simple past, simple
Now
past.
that's interesting. Simple past, simple past. You don't see a lot of that. Whenever I have seen her in the past week, I've said hello. Yeah. See, it's what are you trying to do with the time? It's up to you. Just make sure you get the sequence right.
Yeah.
Okay? And then the first time, the last time, the next time. It means the first time that I went to New York, it means that first time, right? Something happened. So I went to New York, what tense? Yeah, it happened in the past, and something else is going to happen in the past. I went, simple past, to an opera. Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right. I saw 2 plays. What tense is that?
Simple past.
Yeah. The last time I went to New York. Simple past. The next time that I go,
Simple present.
yeah, I, future. And that makes sense. Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
Now let's practice. Let's make sure you're okay. All right? So let's go back to the book and practice, practice, practice. Hey, whose sheet is this?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, keep that with you. Let's make sure it works. All right? Let's test it.
That's a big.
All right, here we go. Go to page... Oh, hey, by the way, before we move on, can I comment on something here? Notice, down at the bottom, okay, it says, after and before are commonly used in the following expressions. So in English, when you hear people talking, you'll often hear shortly after, right? A short time after, shortly after, or shortly before. Okay, those are adverbs attached onto the before to talk about a short amount of time. A short time after. A short time before. A little while after. a little while before, soon after, not long before. They all mean the same thing, same idea, but they're different phrases we use. Okay? All right. Now, turn the page. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to do B in your seat. It's simple. It says draw brackets around the time clause or the adverb clause in each sentence. And underline its verb. Identify and discuss the use of verb tenses. So quickly see if put brackets around the adverb clause and underline the verbs.
Just verb.
Yeah, just underline the verbs. And put a bracket around the adverb clause. Yeah.
Can I say by the time I saw her, I had said
I had already said hello.
Can I use here present continuous?
Where's your adverb sheet? You have it? Okay. Do you have this? So by the time. So if you say by the time I saw her, so that'd be like this one. Yeah, and it sounds nice to say already. I had already, but this doesn't make sense. You can't really say hello if you don't see someone, can you? Unless you're on the phone, I guess. If you're on the cell phone. But yeah, that's right. I had already said hello.
And I cannot say present continuous.
No.
Simple present. I say
That's right. Whenever this is in the simple past with this phrase, you need to go with the past one. Yep.